wrongdoing. Evidence.com, there's a story on the Journal that said that they're not even turning in the footage that they do get. You know, they're not even submitting it into evidence.
See, that's where it goes down.
It's like hit or miss.
The cameras are dope.
Just so people know this.
APD knows how to get around all
People
that
know
stuff.
this.
If they want to lose it, they lose it.
My partner is the police chief in Cincinnati, whom I sued into submission. He will tell you that. We fixed the problem. We can work with the city here and with the Department of Justice to address almost the same issues that we face. Almost the same issues.
Are you going after reform or restructuring?
Both.
My observation lays is that my son was an Iraq war veteran, was killed in 2010, and they shot 17 young men. That Mr. Gomez, they shot his son in the back. Proven in a court of law that that officer violated my son's rights. It was proven in a court of law, and yet that man has been promoted, and he's been given more bullets, and he's not been indicted. He's not been held accountable for his actions. And so that's what I'm saying. There's going to be more killings. This is what they're trained to do. And until we indict some officers and send a clear signal to the whole police department that there is going to be accountability for your actions, we're going to status quo, situation normal. So there needs to be some officers held accountable for their actions. And until that happens,
And the number way to hold accountability is not to have police oversight committees which answer to the city, which have lawyers from the cities on them, which have a citizen-based oversight committee that has the ability to discipline, hire, and fire, has investigatory abilities, subpoena abilities. That's the only way out of this, the real way. APD, police officers are unreformable. The system's unreformable at this time. We need, sorry to say I don't know you, and I hope you do a good job, but I would ask you to partner with the community, with the citizens. We're calling a mass action this Saturday on Civic Plaza again. That's how we get results again, is when people go in the streets and demand accountability from their elected officials.
Your idea is exactly what needs to be shared with the city and with the DOJ. It's concrete ideas like that.
I have before you a family, and this is the daughter, and this is the son, and this is the wife. And they're terrified of being here because their husband and their dad got killed. And they haven't had a voice to be able to say those things. But every single one of you that's speaking here right now is their voice. And they can't go anyplace. And I think just for a minute, we can say who the husband's name was. It's okay.
Alex Sinkovich. Shot in the back. On October 31st, 2010, with a high-powered rifle at close range with no lapel camera.
Wow.
murdered,
Shot
shot in the back.
They want to do
Then
something.
he walked right out the door, took a couple of steps, while he was laying on the floor, bleeding to death. They were still trying to handcuff him.
I have a question. I'm her
I can't
sister.
even imagine it.
I'm her sister. There was witnesses who saw this, and the cops wouldn't ask. They didn't want to interview the witness. They said they made the witness go away overnight so they can investigate her house because bullets went into her house and they never got her statement. She saw everything from the minute he walked out the door. Never saw him with the gun. She said the minute he walked out, he was shot. But no one ever listens to us. She can't get an attorney to listen to her. Nothing.
This is one story of thousands that we have in this community. Literally thousands of people have been victimized by this police department. And until we start holding these officers accountable, it's going to continue.
One more thing, there was a camera on top of her house that Alex was installing for burglary, just to make sure, she's sick with cancer. A week later after it was shot, that camera was removed. It was gone. We don't know what happened to it. Who took it? It was gone.
And we can prevent more of these awful occurrences if we enhance accountability and build it into the system, but only if this community partners, really partners with the Department of Justice and with the city. It will not be easy. It was not easy in Cincinnati. It was not easy for me to sit down across the table from people who were in charge of a police department that victimized, brutalized, and killed my own clients. It was not easy for me to have people in your situation having to listen to justifications that they knew weren't true. But it is necessary for you, all of you, if you are committed to change in Albuquerque policing, it is essential for you to work with the US Attorney's Office and the Department of Justice and with me so that we can really create fully constitutional policing in this city.
Excuse me. How long or how easy will it be to criminalize not using lapel?
How easy will it be to what?
To criminalize, to make it a crime for police officers not to use the lapel cameras.
That's
What needs to be done for that to happen?
I can't speak to state
I
statute.
mean, who decides that?
I don't know. There's not a department in the country that criminalizes non-use, but you can have a policy that says if you don't use it, you're fired.
I mean,
already got that. That'd be good.
And maybe, okay, if you don't use the lapel camera in a regular occurrence, I'm not saying fire the guy. Maybe the third time you fire the guy. But if you don't use the lapel camera in a situation in which people get shot, wounded, or killed, then in that situation, maybe the guy should be fired immediately and prosecuted for whatever.
Sure.
Have you changed
I mean,
culture?
I would not be here had not I seen James Boyd's footage. I would not. Maybe I'm an idiot. I tend to believe the police. When I saw that footage, it really changed me.
When I saw that footage, and I watched it on the national news, I called my business partner and I said, what city does this remind you of? When you have protests in the street after a shooting that almost nobody can imagine could occur.
Moscow.
So
Looked like my city 12 years ago.
So in your situation, what it will take for the Albuquerque City Police or Albuquerque the City Council or whatever, put that in legislation or whatever you call it?
I don't know if it can be put in legislation, but I do know it can be put into policy. I have a model policy for these. It's in my policy. My policy says you wear the camera, you turn it on every time, and you better hope that there's video if there's a critical incident or a use of force. Because if you don't have video and you have the equipment with you, if it's not malfunctioning, there better be video in that device. Or you're going to hit the streets for 30, 60 days or terminate it.
So how long it may take to get that
Policy?
enforced?
I'll be making recommendations to the mayor. Exactly.
That's the whole deal.
I'll be
We're making
making
recommendations. Mayor, Barry and Perry, they haven't done a thing since he is the problem.
Where's Barry?
Oh, he's hiding. He's hiding. He's a coward. Mayor Barry does not care about the poor people. He does not care about, your homeless, any skin color other than white. He doesn't care about. He cares about the rich only. He cares about his own political things that he wants to do in the future. He wants to be a congressman, and he don't want anything to interrupt that. We know his agenda. We know he's being run by Jay McCluskey, the same one that runs Susana Martinez. So, I mean, we can go on and on with this, but you got to get rid of Barry and Perry. That'll solve this problem. It'll help it. It's very tremendous.
Thank you, everybody.
I have a question here.
They're open? Okay, is there anybody in the room
Yes, I have
who wants
a
to talk to the DOJ team that is not? The room next door is empty, and that was the reason why we wanted to have this forum. So if you haven't already, please go next door. We're wrapping up here. We're almost done. I assume folks